regular May board meeting to order. This meeting has been appropriately advertised. Roll call, please, Ms. Coleman.
Mrs. Brown? Mr. Craig?
Here.
Mrs. Devine?
Here.
Mrs. Maya?
Here.
Mrs. Mikulski? Oh, she was here. I saw her. Mrs. Seltzer?
Here.
Mrs. Sherman?
Here.
Mrs. Mitski? I know, Mrs. Z, I'm just going to say
Here.
Mr. McMillan?
Here.
And Mr. Chu?
Here. Please rise for Pledge of Allegiance. There was no executive session tonight. Before we do our presentations, we're going to go ahead and enter into Committee of the Whole and do the presentations in Committee of the Whole. So can I have a motion, please, to enter Committee of the Whole?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
All right. All those in favor? Aye. Okay. So for our presentations, we're actually going to go in reverse order today. We're going to go and do the 2024-25 Collingswood Staff Members of the Year Award. I'm going to pass this to Ms. Howell Turner to kick off.
Good evening and welcome, everyone. My name is Meredith Howell Turner. I am the Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction, and we are thrilled tonight to welcome our 6 Staff Members of the Year and the many family and friends and colleagues who came out tonight to celebrate them or who are watching at home. So we are, in a moment, going to recognize each of the 6 folks that you see listed here in the board agenda by asking them to come forward with their supervisor or their principal who's prepared a few words. But I just want to publicly read each of their names first and say a few words myself. So we are thrilled to recognize as the pre-K and elementary teacher of the year, Mr. Brian Gross. As the pre-K and elementary instructional assistant of the year, Ellen Tonsberg from Garfield. Middle school ELA teacher, Kristen Tash. High school science and psychology teacher, Taryn Silverman. Secondary instructional assistant, Bernadette Jefferson. And last but certainly not least, Mr. Wayne Matthews, our district support winner. We received 59 recommendations for this year's Staff Member of the Year. My team and I, which is Mr. Dave Oliveri, Dr. Karen Principato, and Dr. Whitehouse, had the real pleasure of reviewing the 59 applicants. And this is all done internally by colleagues, recommending colleagues. They each then share tons of beautiful anecdotes about why they're recommending these individuals for consideration. So we had the real pleasure of reading each of those beautiful testimonies that people took a lot of time and thoughtfulness to put together for us. And then I'll just say, personally, having been here now a year, I am so thrilled and lucky to work with each of these 6 individuals. I get to see them impacting individual kids, large groups of kids, and district-wide impacts, and so we're very grateful to each of the 6 winners this year. So without further ado, we're going to go in the order listed here. So can I please have the Sharp and Zane principals, Mr. Jenna, Ms. Hinson, come forward along with Brian Gross, please.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Matt Jenna. I'm the principal at Zane North Elementary, and it's my pleasure tonight to share in the honoring of our music teacher, Mr. Brian Gross, as the Elementary Teacher of the Year here in Collingswood. The first words that come to mind when I think of Mr. Gross are dedication, commitment, and passion. Mr. Gross spends half of his week with us at Zane North, in addition to the other half of his Sharp School, and his schedule is filled with not only music classes, but also instrumental lessons for students. Additionally, he is actively involved in our various district theater programs and also an adult choir. At various points in the year when we're putting together different schedules based on activities we have going on at school, I often find myself asking Mr. Gross, are you sure you can fit all of this in? Because I'm a little bit worried that he's overextending himself. I worry about Mr. Gross sometimes, but without fail, without hesitation, his answer is always yes, let's do it. Brian is someone who will never pass up an opportunity to share his love of music and his talents and his knowledge with his students. He handles his extremely busy schedule with patience, grace, and a great sense of humor. At the elementary level, Mr. Gross establishes an excellent foundation for our students in their learning about music, and he inspires so many of our students to continue their learning at the secondary level and take advantage of our district's many great offerings in music, theater, and the arts. Brian is also a terrific colleague. He's part of an excellent music department in our district who support and encourage each other as they collaborate on outstanding learning experiences and opportunities for our students. We're very fortunate to have Brian Gross as a member of our team here in Collingswood, and I am grateful for his many outstanding contributions to our school and our district. His Teacher of the Year award is certainly very well deserved and a fitting tribute for a great teacher and a great person. Congratulations to Brian, and at this time I'm going to hand it over to Ms. Hinson, the principal of Sharp, who will also share some remarks about Mr. Gross.
Good evening, everyone. As Mr. Jenna said, my name is Camila Henson, and I'm the principal at Sharp Elementary School. Ironically, I chose two of the same words to describe Brian. So Mr. Gross exemplifies dedication and passion when he is working with his students. This dedication and passion for music has transferred to his students as well. Mr. Gross's students thoroughly enjoy music class and especially instrumental lessons. For example, one student waited in the office for Ms. Kawasa, my administrative assistant, and I, to call home. I would say it felt like at least 10 times. And the student, he's such a sweet student, he just waited patiently, and we had to let him know that no one's answering right now, so you may not be able to have your instrument today. But he really, really wanted to, to participate in his lesson. Another example just happened last week where a student, actually the parent, came in with a dripping wet flute case. And I was concerned because I know how delicate instruments are, so I asked, I said, would you like me to at least wipe it off? So she said yes. But that is the dedication that your students have for their music class and especially for their lessons. Our students, again, are very serious about learning to play their instruments. These are also instruments that Mr. Gross was determined to secure so that all students had access to music lessons. Sharp's Art and Music Showcase was today, and that was a testament of Mr. Gross's hard work in the music department, as well as Ms. Emanuel's in the art department. So, Mr. Gross, I just want to say congratulations and thank you for everything that you do. During the testing, you made sure that we were able to fit in all the instrument lessons, scheduled, the music classes, made arrangements, and so forth. So I appreciate you. The district appreciates you. Of course, the Sharp community appreciates you. And most importantly, your students truly appreciate you. So congratulations.
All right, well, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is for my high school and middle school theater students for public speaking here. First of all, thank you, Mrs. Hinson and Mr. Jenna, for those very thoughtful words. And I was just thinking of people to thank for how many years I've been in Collingswood. I think it's 12 or 13. I'm losing track. But thanks to principals I've had in the past, to Dr. Principato, to Joe Gersick, who I had in the past, to Tom Santo. And then I was just thinking, coming through all my principals, now at the high school, Doug, Dr. Jack, Mr. Whalen, my supervisors, Steve and Dave, I'm just very lucky here in Collingswood that I've been able to be, not just an elementary teacher, but I feel like I teach everybody, and that's something that's really important to me and important to our music team, that everybody in the district is one of our music students, and it doesn't matter if they're not at our school. Everyone's a part of our music program, and I take that very seriously. So I'm very, very lucky to have that happen here in Collingswood, and I don't know if that happens at bigger districts, that we have that type of community in a larger district when you can just be a number. We're a very tight music community here, so I got to thank my music colleagues, Mr. Goldberg, Miss Ludwig, Mr. Hartung, Miss Carlson, and Mr. Tricasso. Literally could not do any of the things I do without my music team. Couldn't do it. And of course, my theater team, adding to them, would be Mrs. Goodall, Miss Hartman, and Mrs. Doherty. Like, we're, again, a unit, and none of this happens without the whole. And something that's just super important to me is back to that small town community that we have here in Collingswood, and I'm just very grateful and very honored to have this award, but also I am lucky to see some, like the seniors right now I had in kindergarten, and that is something that we can do here in Collingswood. If I have you in middle and high school theater, I can have you in kindergarten, and then I can see them all the way through to 12th grade. That's just a great privilege. So thank you all so much for that great honor. Take care.
Next, please, Mr. Wiltsey and Ellen, please come forward.
How you doing? Oh, you're gonna stand right
Oh,
next to me?
I'm
No,
not-
come here,
where do I
come
go?
here, come here.
I'm sorry, where do I go?
This will make it easier on me. So first off, before I read my words, I just want to say thank you to all. Thank you. Congratulations to all the winners. I know most of the winners, and I know being here in Collingswood, this is a huge honor. So congratulations to everyone. So good evening. My name is Mark Wiltsey. I'm the principal at Garfield Elementary School, and I am happy and I am proud to be the one who gets to stand up here this evening and honor Miss Ellen Tonsberg. As life likes to give us full circle moments, I have gone from teaching Miss Ellen's son, Matt Tonsberg, who's sitting over there, to now serving as her colleague. Everyone in this room would be hard-pressed to find something about Miss Ellen that isn't positive. She's kind, she's loving, and she is caring. Through her kind heart, she consistently purchases snacks, backpacks, the big event of the year, Mr. Softy, right? Or whatever else is needed for students and staff. She is the first to give a student or staff member a hug when they need it. And she's also caring enough to ask me almost every single Monday, how was your weekend? And she actually means it. She truly does a little bit of everything at Garfield. There are quite a few people that have a connection to Garfield here in attendance, and if I gave them each a chance to stand up and mention a role that Miss Ellen has at our school, they would be able to say something different. To list a few of these examples, however, she is the queen of lamination. She is our expert at grade K and grade 1 curriculum. She is the overseer of our bus students, a recess aide extraordinaire, a collar fixer for both myself and recently retired Mr. Carolyn. She is a pseudo nurse for our students and also with worrying about staff health, etc., etc., etc. So I'm going to switch gears for a second, and I'm also going to talk about Miss Tonsberg and technology. All right? At this point in the school year, teachers are receiving their summative evaluations. During these summatives, we give some actionable feedback and recommendations for growth, and for my first few years working with Miss Ellen, I always had to put something in there about improving her understanding of technology. I would remind her that email, Google Docs, ASOP, and things like that aren't going away as the district moves forward with technological platforms. This terrified her for sure, but that is what she does. She just moves on and she works toward the goal. So now in 2025, when I arrive at work and she beats me there, which she does some days, I see her sitting in a chair with a laptop on her desk, checking her email. To her left is a brand new iPhone 16 that I recently put the screen protector on, and she has an Apple iWatch. So I am not sure if she just wanted to give it back to me for writing the same thing every year, but as I write her summative this year, I'm struggling to come up with something as a recommendation for growth because she is that good. So lastly, when I talk about Miss Ellen, I think back to my late grandfather. No, Miss Ellen, this is not the part of the speech where I begin to roast you, so don't worry. When he and I were working on my back deck, he would stare at each board before using it, and he would stare at it. He would make sure it was straight before we could nail it onto the deck. And he would say, Mark, you have to remember, they just don't make things like they used to. You have to always check and make sure things are good. And that always stayed with me because I've had the pleasure of working with incredible staff members during my time here in Collingswood. We truly have some of the best of the best. But the best way to describe Miss Ellen is that she really is indescribable. They don't make people like they used to. Is accurate about her as well. We love you, Miss Ellen. We are so grateful that we all get to work with you each and every day. And on behalf of all of us at Garfield, congratulations.
Thank you. I'm not real good at this. Good evening, everyone. I am incredibly honored and truly humbled to be standing here today as the recipient of the Instructional Aide of the Year Award. For over 30 years, I've had the privilege of working in the Collingswood district. And throughout those years, one place has always had my heart, Garfield. Garfield isn't just where I work, it's my home. It's where I've poured my heart into every day, shared countless memories, and felt the joy of being part of something truly special. One of the greatest blessings of my time here has been the people I've worked alongside. I couldn't ask for better coworkers. They are more than just teammates. They are my family. We've supported each other through everything, and that bond means the world to me. I also want to take a moment to say how lucky I am to work with Mark Wiltsey, the greatest boss I could ask for. Mark, thank you for your leadership, your support, and most of all, your sense of humor. Some of my favorite days were the ones spent laughing with you, and I'm so grateful for the joy you bring to our school every day. Sorry, guys. To the students, thank you for being my inspiration. Grant, for making me proud and for reminding me why I love what I do. Thank you again for this incredible honor. I will cherish it and all of you always. Thank you.
Congratulations, Ellen. Ms. Tosh, I believe Dr. Jack and Dave are introducing you. Dave first, then Jack. Come on up.
Good evening. The Teacher of the Year honor is one of the highlights of every school year here at Collingswood. Looking back at the list of honorees of years past, I'm struck by the number of wonderful people who have served our students and we have had the privilege of working alongside. I'm going to turn it over to Dr. McMullen, who's going to introduce another CMS staff member who will join that list of legendary people.
Thank you, Mr. Oliveri. Congratulations to all the honorees this evening. As principal of CMS, I am thrilled to recognize Ms. Tosh for this well-deserved honor. As an 8th grade language arts teacher, Ms. Tosh exemplifies what it means to be an outstanding educator. Her classroom is a place where kindness, compassion, and empathy thrive, fueled by her unwavering belief in the power of a growth mindset. She's not only dedicated to academic excellence, but she also understands the crucial role of social, emotional support during these transformative middle school years. Ms. Tosh builds meaningful relationships with her students, earning their trust and respect while challenging them to grow as thinkers and individuals. She truly understands that in middle school, it all happens in the middle, and she embraces that complexity with grace and humor. Her colleagues deeply admire her professionalism, her collaborative spirit, and her ability to lead with both heart and purpose. As William A. Ward once said, the mediocre teacher tells, the good teacher explains. the superior teacher demonstrates, and the great teacher inspires. Ms. Tosh is, without question, an inspiration to all who had the privilege of working with her or learning from her. Congratulations, Ms. Tosh. And thank you for making Collingswood Middle School a place where students and staff alike feel seen, supported, and inspired. It is my honor and privilege to introduce the Collingswood Middle School Teacher of the Year, Ms. Kristen Todd.
Thank you, Dr. McMullen and Mr. Oliveri, for the extremely kind words. It has been a pleasure working with both of you over the past 7 years here at Collingswood Middle School. I'm extremely grateful for your unwavering support for what I do each day. I'm honored and humbled to be receiving the recognition this year. I'm also especially grateful to Ms. Gillen for the nomination. You can expect to see her here very soon, within the coming years. Congratulations to my peers that were also honored this evening. I would also like to thank my colleagues and friends. Their constant support helps me push through on tough days, and it validates the time that I'm putting in outside of the classroom. Especially my co-teacher, Ms. Paglione, who listens to my crazy ideas and helps me put them into effect. Thank you to my parents and my brother, Matt, who listen to my school stories each week on Tuesday night family dinners, and they do so without judgment. And a shout out to my son, Oliver, for tagging along to every school event with very little pushback. The current state of this school district makes it tough to love the choices that we made to get into this profession. But our students help us to regain our focus, to strive to be better, and to give them our best selves. I love how Grace always notices when my nail color changes, how Jacob and Brody call me out for middle-of-the-night Google Classroom posts, and when Allie and Tiana still ask how to make their writing better, even though we already know it's great. I love that Ryan makes me laugh and smile when I'm not supposed to. The right on cue eye contact with Elodie every single time. The parenting advice I get from Zamora. The sweet post-it messages from Dari. The always raised hand of Raquel, and the check-ins from Thor. I could go on, but hopefully you see that I've enjoyed this year's students so much. They begin each day fresh with a smile, eager to learn, and a willingness to try new things and to take on challenges. This class especially has reminded me why I got into teaching in the first place. They bring joy to my day and impress me daily with their hard work. I thank each of them for helping me be my best, and they are the reason that I'm here tonight. Thank you.
Congratulations, Ms. Tosh. And next, please, I believe Doug and Dr. Principato are introducing Terrence Silverman.
Come on up, Ms. Silverman. My name is Doug Newman, principal of Collingswood High School, and it is truly my honor to say congratulations to all the honorees tonight. You are recognized for a reason, and I hope you embrace that, enjoy it, enjoy your moment, because we are proud of all of you. It's my pleasure to be able to introduce Dr. Principato, who's going to talk about Terrence Silverman. One thing I like to say about Taryn real quick is that she is one of the sparks in the building, without a doubt. And for anyone that knows Taryn, you know within the first 5 minutes, you're probably going to walk away with a smile, but at the same time, you know that this person has energy and wants to just go get it. And it doesn't matter what it is. But she's the right person for the job of our Renaissance program, which honors kids and recognizes kids and just find ways to show them our appreciation. And Taryn is the right person in that spot. I've known that since 2013 when I first came on board. Like, wow, this person is really, with it. And definitely the students recognize that. When she's in the room, there's a celebration going on. There's a celebration that may get ready to start. There's something. There's ice cream coming from somewhere. But this is Taryn. Girl Scout, it's just Girl Scout cookies. But I have nothing to do with that. But she's great, and I'm glad that she's on board. I'm glad she's on our team. We have 3 honorees tonight, and this is going to kick it off. Dr. Principato has something to say to you.
Hi, I'm Karen Principato. I am the supervisor of the STEM and Gifted and Talented programs at Collingswood. I'm so excited to present the High School Teacher of the Year Award. This award recognizes outstanding performance, dedication, and a commitment to excellence. This year's recipient has consistently gone above and beyond in her role. Her innovative ideas and relentless work ethic have significantly impacted our students, colleagues, and school communities. For example, she chairs the Renaissance Committee, which organizes reward assemblies to help motivate individual student attendance, academic excellence, and citizenship. She creates and maintains the log for Senior Open Campus, which allows qualified seniors to leave campus during their study hall and lunch period. She works with the National Honor Society to organize the annual Mr. Collins contest. She helps to commemorate our seniors by leading the Senior Graduation Sign Project. And shortly, you will see pictures of all of our seniors on signs up and down Collins Avenue. She serves as the advisor for our Bring Change to Mind chapter, which is a national organization whose mission is to end the stigma and discrimination surrounding mental illness. She is the co-junior class advisor. She is the advisor for our Psi Alpha chapter, which is a national honor society whose mission is to enhance America's high school students' understanding and knowledge of the science of psychology. As you can see, this year's recipient is so very deserving of this award, and I am honored to serve as her supervisor. Please join me in congratulating Taryn Silverman for her exceptional contributions and well-deserved recognition.
Hello, everyone. I think I should start by saying that I didn't actually believe Kristen when she said I would have to make a speech, so I didn't actually prepare anything. But I do want to say quite a many thank yous. Thank you to my amazing administrative staff at Collingswood High School, my colleagues, my students. I have to give a special shout out to Miss Kristen Intricasso. I know that she wrote a nomination for me, and when I went to thank her about it, she divulged that she has written one for me every year. And I felt so, it was just so emotional for me to know that I had made a connection with one of my colleagues so well that she felt like she could nominate me for this award. And so that was wonderful. Speaking of those connections, I want to thank my students, and I have some of them sitting right in front of me right now. Every single day, they remind me why I became a teacher. Especially, fun little anecdote, when my AP Psych test didn't work on Friday, and now my Psych students have to study again to take the test next week, they were all completely fine. Like, they're a little stressed, but they said, we can do this, we want to keep studying, we don't wanna, say, it didn't work, we're gonna give up. They were definitely in it. And so, again, as I look at Andrea right now, who is giggling at me, my students at Collingswood are absolutely amazing, and I wouldn't give them up for the world. I want to thank my family that listens to countless stories, probably some of which I tell over and over and over again, and my children who are smiling at me, yes, and recording me, that's lovely, because I do drag them with me all the time. I'm not quite sure they enjoy every single thing they come to, but I do know that my son loves running around this cafeteria no matter what activity is going on. So thank you to both of them. Thank you to my wonderful husband, who is also recording me. Hi. Just for the love and support every single day. I think that might be it. So thank you again.
Next, we're going to recognize Bernadette Jefferson. Please come forward. I believe Colleen and Heather are going to recognize you, and maybe Doug as well. Thank you.
Oh, I had to say a few things about Miss Jefferson. Get up here, Miss Jefferson. Without a doubt, the high school can be busy. There can be a lot that goes on, and I'm just speaking from my own perspective. It gets busy. Sometimes it gets tiring. Sometimes I stand in the hallway, and I'm just looking, thinking, okay, today was interesting. Today has been interesting. But I can tell you one thing that always brings me back to center. It's Miss Jefferson. You see it. She reminds me of my mom. So without a doubt, and when I see her coming, I can smile. And I know it comes back to I get to calm down for a minute when I'm speaking to her, when I see her. So she's always like, hey, Mr. Newman, how you doing? But she's got that calming presence. Her classroom is a wonderful classroom, but, the people that are in there to support what goes on matters as well. And she is the right person for the job, without a doubt. And then she just radiates that calmness on a regular basis, and it's the thing that I do look forward to when I see her coming. So I'll stop talking and crying, but I'll have Miss Hart come up and cry.
So my name is Colleen Hart. I am the assistant principal, and I am probably Mrs. Jefferson's second biggest fan, if not first. I think I beat him out. Sorry, Mr. Newman, but I think I win. She is my person at school. So she is my ray of sunshine. So I might not make it through myself. Miss Jefferson has poured her heart and soul into the Collingswood Public Schools Ignite 18 to 21-year-old program, and the impact of her dedication resonates deeply within the lives of each student she encounters. She understands that the transition to adulthood requires more than just the A, B's, and C's. It's a demand of character, resilience, strong work ethic, a lot of teaching, and time and patience and perseverance. Ms. Jefferson has a unique blend of kindness, caring, tough love, and unwavering fairness that is instrumental in fostering these qualities. When I think about the students who've walked through the doors of Ignite, they feel unsure of themselves and overwhelmed. And the minute they walk in and they see her face, she greets them not as just the job coach, but as a compassionate mentor. Her caring nature creates a safe and supportive environment where students feel seen, heard, and valued for who they are and what they bring to the table. She celebrates their triumphs. She brings, no matter how big or how small, she offers a comforting presence during moments of challenges, and she is there to be their cheerleader. Miss Jefferson's support does not stop there. She understands that true growth often requires pushing beyond their comfort zones. That's where that tough love comes into play. She sets high expectations, she challenges her students to reach their full potential, and she doesn't shy away from holding them accountable. She still instills in them understanding that effort and perseverance are the keys to unlocking their success. Perhaps one of the most enduring lessons Ms. Jefferson gets and imparts on her students is hard work. She is one of the hardest workers. She leads by example. She demonstrates this through her tireless commitment to the students and the program. She teaches them success is not given easily, that they have to earn it through dedication, through discipline, and putting in the effort. This lesson transcends the classroom, equipping them with the fundamental skills and serves them through everything they do. They walk out of that room confident, with a smile on their face that they have learned and they are bringing joy to their community. Ms. Jefferson is more than just a job coach and a classroom assistant. She's been a vital person in the success of the young adults in the 18 to 21-year-old program. She provides unwavering support and guidance they need to navigate the crucial stages of their lives. Her dedication is not just a job. She's not here because it's a job. This is a calling. It is a testament to her deep belief in the potential of every single student that she encounters. Thank you, Ms. Jefferson, for your tireless dedication, for your unwavering support, and your profound and lasting impact you have on the lives of our students. And as I say every day when I walk in, hello, my favorite people. And she is well deserved. So congratulations to everyone and to Ms. Jefferson.
Okay, I don't know if I can do this.
You got it.
Collingswood community, I like to say good evening to you. I want to take this opportunity to sincerely thank Collingswood administration, school, and my teacher for this incredible honor. I am especially grateful to Ms. Heather Brown, who allowed me to step into this high school community in 2020 and 2018. Had it not been for her, I would not be standing here today. This young lady was going through a lot, and I came in and filled for her as a substitute teacher, and I thank her for that. From the moment I walked into the main office of this school, greeted by the warm and welcoming staff, I knew I was home. After 32 years of working for Camden County and the city of Camden, I never imagined I would still be working at 74 years old. But this school has given me renewed purpose and joy. Even when I faced the personal challenge in 2022 with cancer diagnosis, the love and support of this high school family carried me through. The staff stood by me, and another beloved colleague who is no longer with us today. And I'm grateful for that. I am proud and humble to stand here tonight alongside my colleagues as a recipient of this 2024-2025 School Year Award. I thank you so much. And Mr. Jenna, you were the principal when I walked into this building. And now I have Mr. Newman. I still love you, don't worry. But I got and Mr. Newman was here too, but you know, I still love you. Just want to let you know that. But thank you, Collingswood. I am from Pennsauken, so I'm not far from you, Collingswood. But Collingswood community and school district, thank you so much for letting me be here and getting this honor. Thank you.
Go ahead, Mr. Newman. You got
Okay,
it.
we got one more special one. Well, not, they were all, everybody's special, but we have. Well, anyway, let me just move on. Mr. Matthews, get up here, Mr. Matthews, Mr. Wayne Matthews, Mr. Whalen. Okay, so Mr. Matthews is our district support person of the year, and you know, I can say that I enjoy my cafeteria workers, right? The aides that are that are in there and serving food. I enjoy our maintenance staff. They just get busy. Something happens, they're on it. And I enjoy my security staff. Mr. Matthews is, a member of our security team here at the high school, and without a doubt, he's the calmest person in the building. Coolest, but the calmest. I don't care what goes on. Yeah, I'll take care of that. Mr. Matthews, okay, I'll beat it. I got you guys. So he is absolutely, he's cool, level-headed, and great to have in the building. I love talking to him about just different things, that go on, home, family, whatever. But Mr. Matthews, he goes deep as far as just that basic understanding of what it takes to keep things going and keep the building safe. So for that, I appreciate him, and I appreciate just the special moments that, throughout the course of the year, he's helped the school to have just by being there and being a presence and reminding students. I love how he talks to kids. I love how he talks to them. Doesn't matter what goes on, he said, hey, come here, let me talk to you. He's that guy. He's that guy in the building that I know kids appreciate it. When we broke the news as far as, trying to celebrate him, we did it in the cafeteria for that reason, for students to be able to celebrate him as well. And you could just hear the loud applause that went on, and that was a special moment. But he's laid back. He doesn't want the spotlight, but he's getting it. So Mr. Matthews, thank you. Mr. Whelan's going to say a few things about him. Mr. Jefferson.
Very quickly, I couldn't let this pass. Mr. Matthews is a man of large stature, but few words. So he's probably very shocked this year. I started dragging him in on our student mediations, and it never fails. We sit there the whole mediation, and he sits there and he smiles and he just makes eye contact with the kids. And at the end of the mediation, he comes in with this one-liner that always sums things up and concludes everything so well. But the one thing I want to say about Mr. Matthews that I think is a very powerful thing, he is the first here every morning and the last to leave. So when you have those coworkers that you can always depend on. If there's some type of emergency and you're running late, or if you had to leave, he's the first here in the morning, the last to leave. We can always pick that phone up and know that Mr. Matthews was present. So I thank him for that.
Evening, everybody. My name is Dan Whalen, proud assistant principal of the Collingswood High School. Nothing is so strong as gentleness, nothing so gentle as real strength. This quote from St. Francis de Sales perfectly captures the essence of Mr. Wayne Matthews, our district support staff honoree for 2025. I'm incredibly honored to say a few words about my friend and colleague this evening, and I know, as has just been mentioned, that he is far too humble to enjoy the spotlight, so take a deep breath, my friend, because you have earned every bit of this recognition. Mr. Matthews is a true gentle giant in every way. His quiet strength, steady presence, and deep kindness have left a lasting impact not just on me personally, but on countless students and staff who've passed through CHS. Wayne joined us several years ago after retiring from a career in law enforcement. Since then, he's become an indispensable part of our school community. While his official title is Security and Climate Officer, that barely begins to describe the roles he plays each day. He's the first face to greet students each morning, the reassuring voice on the walkie-talkie, the problem solver behind the scenes, whether it's helping with lost items, assisting with investigations, or where he truly shines, diffusing potential student conflicts. Wayne approaches each situation with calm, care, and respect. His ability to de-escalate, to make students feel seen and safe, is remarkable, and it flows from a genuine desire to see every young person succeed. Wayne handles some of the most challenging moments our school community faces during the school day and long after that final bell. His calm demeanor and steady hand have helped guide students, families, and staff through tough times. If there's anything bigger than his bench press numbers, which he recently revealed to me, it's his heart. He's built real relationships with students especially those who need a little extra care, and he never hesitates to go the extra mile for them. He does not seek credit, he just shows up again and again for the right reasons. It's the high school guys, but I'm gonna say it. On a personal note, we've laughed until we've cried, and we've cried together too. One of the most difficult moments we shared was in 2023, when we served as pallbearers for our dear friend and colleague, Lisa Marcione. Being beside Wayne during that moment was not just meaningful, it was a quiet testament to the kind of man he is. Loyal, steady, and present when it matters most. His support in that time of grief, like so many other moments, spoke volumes without needing many words. So tonight, we recognize more than a job well done. We honor the character, compassion, and strength of a man who has made CHS a better place simply by being himself. Congrats, Wayne. You are deeply appreciated.
Hello, everyone. I just wanted to say thank you. I appreciate it. I don't have nothing prepared, but I'm really honored.
So can we give our 24, 25 honorees another round of applause, please? We would like to thank everyone for helping us to celebrate these amazing individuals who make our school district and our community better. The term or the word thank you is insufficient. It doesn't speak to the invaluable nature that each of them brings to the work every single day across our school district and across our community. And so as a district staff member, as a colleague, as a superintendent, but more specifically as a parent and a community member that is a direct recipient of their greatness and their brilliance, I'd like to personally say thank you for what you do. Thank you for pouring into our children, and thank you for your dedication and sacrifice for our community. And so as we transition, we have a very special presentation from student leaders, many of whom have been directly impacted by the professionals that were honored this evening. And so we'll take just a moment for them to get set up. And so I'll ask SVAC to please come to the podium, please.
Good evening, everyone. I am Ms. Llewellyn, and I am here with Ms. Romero, and we are the co-advisors for the Student Voice Action Committee, and we shorten it to SVAC, so you'll hear us refer to it as SVAC. And we are really proud to work with this group of students this year. They've been working very, very hard. We are so proud of them. This is a group of students that Ms. Romero and I interviewed towards the end of the last school year. They were trained over the summer for being part of this group, and they have been working so hard throughout this school year, giving up their lunches twice a week, as do I, just as do we, because we believe so strongly in the work that we are doing for the better of our school culture and climate. So, moving forward, why was the SVAC established? There has been continued concerns surrounding school culture within our high school, and that resulted in our principal, Mr. Newman, acknowledging the need for more student input within the school. Some of our current issues that were identified include discrimination on campus, the lack of communication between student and staff, and some limited accommodations.
So what is the purpose of SVAC? So these students have exemplified dedication, and when we first got together over the summer, we were asking them, we all got together and we were like, okay, what are some things, if you can see changed, would you like to change? Or what are some concerns that you have with the school? And so we came up with some goals and strategies based on this. So what the kids expressed was that they needed a greater sense of belonging, more dialogue with the school, with the students and staff, and with the school community. And some other things are improved school climate and culture, finding ways to better resolve conflicts, and supporting engaging classroom learning. So we all realized that one of the things we found that was missing is a student voice. That's why we're the Student Voice Action Committee, right? And in our making decisions for the school, who's the biggest population in the school? The students, right? So we believe that they needed a voice. They needed to have a say in some of our decisions. So this is why, this is the purpose of SVAC. So now some of our participants.
So our participants, some of them were not able to be here with us this evening, but some of them are Archie, Amandi, Angel, who's here and is our secretary, Landon, Tyler, we have Tonio, who's here, Naeem, Alistair's not here, Andrea, Selena, who's our graphic designer, and Ms. Romero and I, like I said, we are the co-advisors, and then we have our consultant, which is Dr. Brasoff.
All right, so what are our goals and why? So our goals are to develop shared leadership opportunities, like I spoke earlier, having the students have a say in the leadership of the school, enable students to provide ongoing feedback about school policies and practice, support responsive classroom practices, and establish a school-wide understanding of the range of diversity of students' identities that are at CHS. Okay. And now Dr. Brasoff, our community consultant, will be speaking.
Hi, everybody. My name is Dr. Brasoff. I'm a community member here, and then I'm here also as my capacity of someone who studied and researched and taught about student voice for 20 plus years. The students and the co-advisors asked me to just speak briefly about sort of like help to frame what our strategy was this year. So I'm going to just make 3 quick comments so that you understand as you enter into this slide and you can see what we've been doing. So student voice is often misunderstood, and it's as young people sharing their concerns and aspirations, voice is speaking. That, while important, this is the lowest form of voice. Instead, using an organizational capacity building perspective, student voice is an opportunity to engage in sustained dialogue about the decisions that impact students on a daily basis, using structures and processes that genuinely include them. Schools oftentimes are not built to do these kind of things, though research shows across the world that when schools do this and do this well, you see a lot of beautiful things emerge in a building. And so using a capacity building perspective, instead of students, this group, looking at individual issues that emerged in the school this year, we wanted to help them think about what kind of systems that would need to be in place for them to contribute in a meaningful way into school processes. And so as sitting on this committee, my job was to listen very closely to what students were talking about throughout the year and help them to develop strategies that would sustain beyond their existence in this school. So that's what you're going to see. That's what you're seeing today. So what you're looking at here are not a set of discrete recommendations how to fix the bathroom policy or how to fix X, Y, and Z. This is what they wanted was a system in which they can continuously engage in conversations about their school. That's what this is about. And so what we have here is a sustainable structure that is about not only young people having conversation about schools, but actually the adults in the building as well. And so this is just about giving students an opportunity to exercise their voice as it is educators in the building. Okay? And so, yeah, moving forward. And so it feels a little awkward right now to tell you about the first strategy because we really should have students in front of you to do this, but our students that built this piece of the work just couldn't make it tonight for all sorts of reasons. So I'm just going to briefly talk to you about what this first one is. So this one is about how do you talk about policy in your school? And how can we create a system that enables the policy and the practice to come closer together so that it's really responsive to the needs of the kids and the adults in the building. And so this is, the students are proposing a youth adult leadership council where 5 students and 5 educators in the building would be meeting on a regular basis to talk about the policies and the practice in the school that are working for them and those that need to be shifted. This is not something new. This is something that's done across the planet, and this is something that the students are asking to have happen in the school.
Hello, my name's Andrea, and I'm part of a pedagogical partnership, and along with my co-partner Amandi, who sadly couldn't make it today. But I am here to tell you a brief summary of what our team is currently doing to improve our school climate and classroom practices. So to starting off with what is pedagogical partnership, it's basically a type of partnership between students and teachers that create an open and safe dialogue between students and teachers. Following up with weekly meetings, the teacher and student collaborate with each other to adapt curriculum and student learning along offering support towards educators. However, it is not a way for surveillance. It's not a way for surveillance, nor is it a way to keep record of the teaching that occurs within classrooms, and also it's not a way for the pedagogical partnership to be teaching assistance for the teachers. But overall, recent studies have shown that when students and teachers are often in dialogue, meaning improved communication within students and teachers, classroom learning and school climate often improves. Along with this, I would like to let you know that this is our informational doc, there was an informational doc. We made a 2-pager basically explaining the breakdown of what pedagogical partnership is and what it's not, also how you could implement it in Collingswood. And if you would like to learn more about this pedagogical partnership, then let us know so we can send you a copy to you guys. And that's it. That's my group. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Naeem, and I'm going to go over one of our strategies from our community research branch from me, Antonio, and Landon, who cannot make it tonight. And that strategy is our surveys and the interviews. And we've been conducting these to gather information and opinions from every corner of the school, from staff and students. And this helps us uncover issues or struggles that aren't being heard, and consulting with other experts in this field, as well as validating and ensuring reliability of goals and strategies. For example, like what works, how do we build capacity, and to adjust goals and strategies to school community needs, like what doesn't work and how can it be better. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Tonio, and I have led the community research team in interviewing teachers over the past few months. The purpose of this research at the beginning was to construct, by the Student Voice Action Committee, to determine what the community agrees with our goals and how we can alter our goals to agree with most of the community. We developed a research question which states, what are the participants' perceptions of the ability of SBAC's goals and strategies to improve the school? So basically our goal is to find out from the community of teachers and administrators how our goals, our strategies can align with theirs and how we can improve it to align with theirs even more. The methods I did were to so far sample as many teachers in the school that I possibly could by having teachers sign up in a Google Calendar. And I'd like to thank the teachers in the building that gave up one of their lunch periods to come talk to me for a half hour instead of eating lunch. In these one-on-one interviews, I would ask questions such as what would they like to see changed, what would they like to see accomplished about the school, how do our goals and strategies align with their goals, their strategies, and what would make them feel a greater sense of belonging in the school. Through these interviews, I've found that overall teachers do want to have a better connection and do want better communication with students in the classroom and in the community. Teachers do feel pride in the school community and in the student body. Teachers want more student-teacher dialogue and see a benefit in students being more involved in dialogue around the school. This aligns directly with our goals of a group and bodes well for the future of our work. Teachers also want to learn more about the pedagogical partnerships, its benefits, and potential limitations. That being said, teachers are concerned about the current climate and culture around the building. This has caused reservations in myself about how the programs will function practically during the school day. For this reason, the next goal for our work is to bring the school climate and culture to a place where we can practically accomplish these proposed programs. We believe that with administrator and teacher support for logistics of these programs, they can be a very, very positive force for the dialogue and culture of the community. In future studies of myself and the group after I move on to college, is to want to speak to student groups and more educators as the work begins to unfold. In this way, we can find out the extent of how these strategies work to improve school climate and culture at CHS. Evidence from the field already illustrates that these strategies can be effective as long as the structures are in place and educators understand and are trained in its purposes. Thank you.
So now if anyone has any questions, we'll have the students answer. Does anyone have any questions?
When, this is great, over here, sorry.
Where are you?
Sorry,
Oh.
thank you. Thank you for this and for this program. I was just curious, when did the work start?
Oh, we started working on this August of 2024. The kids came in during the summer and started.
Hello. Also just want to say thank you and how exciting it is, and to the students how good this experience is going to be for you when you go to college and are doing things like research, so that's wonderful. I wanted to know if you have thought at all about what the pathway is to implementation of some of these programs.
Yeah, I appreciate the question, and I think that the main purpose of me interviewing teachers is to find out how practically we can work out better pathways to accomplish all this work that the rest of my team is doing, which I do believe in. So hopefully if I can get to as many teachers as possible and implement what they have told me, then we'll have better communication throughout the school that'll allow us to have these programs fit properly.
I just want to thank you all for, sorry, turning around. Thank you all for your advocacy for your school. It's such a big deal. What has been the response of your peers? Have you kept up communication with other students, and what are you hearing from them about this program? And since you said that some people are going to college, do you have a way to recruit additional students for next year?
So yeah, as we talked about earlier, as Dr. Brasoff was saying, Archie, Tyler, and Alistair, who couldn't be here, have been working on how we're going to recruit new students in the building now. Currently, we're all juniors and seniors, half of us which will be moving on to college, obviously. So they have been working on like an interview process, a process of which we select students we think would perfectly fit for the group, and how we can continue this work past this year onto coming years in the future.
I just had a question. I think this is a really wonderful project. I'm interested, especially you guys sound like you've been working or pulling some research from the Center for Engaged Learning. This is something that a number of districts in around Burlington County, where I teach, are also doing, looking at larger student disengagement as a whole. But I'm wondering, what other kind of research have you done? Have you done any other readings, or I don't know if Dr. Brassoff has brought in any other work from other colleges or districts or anything like kind of official of that nature?
So, for my research on pedagogical partnership, I read, prior to doing the actual research and coming up with a 2-pager, I read a book that was based on pedagogical partnership, and it talked about how students and teachers can improve, like overall come together and improve communication, and that leads to classroom engagement, more students coming together, and in a way, like that, it will result in less conflicts. It will result in less of what we're trying to improve overall. And there's also more, in a way, teacher like engagement too, because they see that their students want to learn, and that's the whole purpose of it. And they can also adaptations towards their curriculum that is based on the students' needs. And overall, I also read what did I read? I read a 24-pager guide of what pedagogical partnership and how you could implement it in schools. And I kind of just read over it, and I picked points that I really liked, and I put that in my 2-pager that I made. And overall, as you can see, it wasn't really shown here, but it's a 2-pager, basically what pedagogical partnership is and what it's not, and how you can implement it in Collingswood High School. And that's what I've done.
So really quick, I think first, thank you to our students for a year-long effort to get us to this point. I think it's also important that there will be a more in-depth presentation, meeting with handouts and real conversations internally within the high school building, because the power in what the students are proposing comes from students and staff working together. And so the public presentation is short, but the students have worked. There is an entire cadre of additional resources, information, and discussions and information that will be presented directly to the staff that they are seeking to partner with. And so I just wanted to make sure that that was also part of the presentation.
I want to jump in and say thank you for all the work that you all have all done. The pedagogical partnerships document, if you can have that sent to us, we can circulate with the board. Love to see that. It's a pretty cool listing too. I mean, even the idea of going at, surveying your teachers with a set research question in mind, right? I think that's a really complex idea that's being used, I think, well here to help improve the school that you all are all part of. And I'm really excited to see, I guess, more from you all. And then next year, when the juniors become seniors, and then there are more, I think, new faces added on, how that will grow and morph. And I think these type of efforts take time, and it's really commendable, especially for the seniors, for saying, hey, like, we might not be here to see it all mature, but we're going to be here to plant the seeds. And so I just want to thank you all for all of your work. Any other comments or questions from board members here?
Yeah, no, just a huge thank you to you guys. I think this is tremendous. It's a really big effort, giving up your lunch, coming in over the summer, setting the example for other kids to join in on what you're doing. We think it's amazing, and thank you.
Yeah, and thank you, Ms. Llewellyn, Mr. Romero, and Dr. Brassoff as well. Thank you. Okay, with that, we're going to close out of Committee of the Whole. Can I have a motion to exit Committee of the Whole?
So moved.
And a second, please?
Second.
All those in favor? All right. Moving on to Section 5, future dates and miscellaneous information. So quite a few dates coming up in busy June with a lot of events and graduations and so forth. So one thing I do want to point out so it doesn't get lost there is Thursday, June 5th, there is a roundtable at the this is our last one I think for the school year at 6:30 at the Collingswood Library Community Room for those who are able to attend. Yeah, and so many dates. Oh, it also goes on to a second page on the back. So many dates for this month. Moving on to Section 6, routine business. Seeking approval for the April 28th, 2025 regular board meeting and the May 5th special board meeting, so approval for those minutes. Can I get a motion?
So.
And a second?
Second.
Right, is this all those in favor? Oh, all those in favor? Aye. All right, thank you. So I think, these I think got printed before the update. So we're actually going to do the superintendent's report first before public comment, and then we'll move on to public comment. So Section 8 for now, superintendent's report. Dr. Mdal.
Okay. Good evening again. Section 8.01 is the attached enrollment report. April of 2024, 2256. April of 2025 is 2220. 8.02, 03, and 04 are the safety drill, suspension, and anti-bullying report. Those are also attached. And we just have a few really positive components that we would really love to share. And so just special thanks again to not just the honorees, but also the staff and the families that came out to celebrate our staff of the year. We'd also like to publicly thank all of our PTAs for their generosity in going above and beyond to celebrate staff during Teacher Appreciation Week, May 5th through the 9th. We'd like to publicly thank them for their continued support of our amazing staff. We would also like to, last week we sent just a calendar update with some exciting new components to our calendar. We will also be sending that out again. And so one of the positive changes this year, based on demand and feedback from our community, was the ability to be able to digitally upload the calendar to your phones. And so that whenever the calendar is, whenever there's a change or an update, it automatically syncs with your phone. And so instructions for how to do that will also be sent out. On May 15th, preschool lottery acceptance and waitlist letters went out for the 25-26 school year. We're also extremely excited at the opening of the Calls at Parkview location in September. And there are currently 40 students on the wait list for our program. Kindergarten enrollment continues to increase with seats filling up quickly, and so please register as soon as possible. We'd like to especially thank the members of our registration team for working so hard to ensure that students have placements for September. More details will also be sent out later this week. Healthy Kids is currently recruiting for their summer program. They will be hosting the program from June 23rd to August 15th. At the Oakland School campus with spots filling up fast. And so from water play to art projects to adventures and field trips, each week will be hands-on and active with a focus on smiles. And so we will be sending out registration options for families this week as well. On May 14th, we had 68 outstanding middle school students inducted into the National Junior Honor Society. Packed auditorium, celebrated by friends and family and peers, focused on their achievements in scholarship, leadership, service, character, and citizenship. And so we would like to publicly thank National Junior Honor Society advisors Ms. Tosh and Ms. Gillen for organizing this special event, and we're extremely proud of our student leaders. As you heard from one of our awardees this evening, or honorees this evening, Mr. Gross, talking about just the sheer talent and the integrated nature of our student performers, actors, musicians. Collingswood Theater presented Broadway Night on May 9th and May 10th, standing room only. It was the 5th annual, so this two-night student showcase of musical theater and film included iconic music from Anything Goes, Into the Woods, Descendants, La La Land, Rocky Horror Picture Show, and many, many more. This year's showcase was directed by students and members of the class of 2025, and we would just like to thank this year's group for an amazing year of student performances. We're also pleased to announce that on May 14th, the Camden County Board of Commissioners joined high school seniors and their families to celebrate the Best of Class Awards. And so the Board of Commissioners Best of Class Awards honor students in 8 categories: Most Courageous, Community Service, Leadership, Performing Arts, Most Improved, School Spirit, Best Overall, and All-Star Athlete from high schools across Camden County. We would like to send congratulations to Ben Arbach for being awarded 2025 Best in Class Overall, and Finn Sullivan for being awarded Best in Class in Performing Arts. Special point of pride, the Lady Panthers are the Colonial Conference Patriot Division champions for the first time in Collingswood High School softball program history. We would like to thank head coach Rick Pence and the team for an extremely successful season. There are individual accolades from many of our Lady Panthers, and so we're looking forward to a repeat next year. We'd also like to give a congratulations to the phenomenal filmmakers of Pause TV. TV3 student Raina Barr was awarded an Emmy for her commercial called Unleash the Panther. It was a winter sports commercial. Overall, Pause TV students received 5 Emmy nominations, and so nominations were received for Theo Berdinsky, Axel, Kamaya, Kelly, and Raina for Outstanding News Magazine for the Panther Playback Holiday episode. Axel was also nominated for his documentary on La Katrina, along with Miles for his documentary on the history of Haddon Avenue. And Piper Wright received a nomination for Outstanding Talent. And so special thanks to Ms. Armineau for continuing to run an award-winning film program. In addition, our high school students also won the best film in the 2025 South Jersey 10-Day Film Challenge. And so in addition to Best Use of Dialogue and Best Genre, their film, Taken, was produced by Kelly Adelot, directed by Piper Wright with cinematography by Raina Barr, and edited by Axel Tenorio Mendoza. It stars Jake Giffey, Kelly Adelot, and Layla Messick. And so the 10-Day Film Challenge is an intense 10-day challenge where students have to work to make, write, shoot, edit, and score a film in under 10 days, and they can only do it during their film class period only. And so on day 1, the students will get a character, they will get a prop, a line of dialogue, and the genre to include in their movie, and they have 10 days in order to actually submit. And so we commend all of our students for rising to the challenges, because in addition to Best in Film, we had 6 additional submissions. And so hats off to our high school for rising to this film challenge. And so we'd just like to thank, again, our students and the SVAC for presenting their proposed goals and strategies. And we look forward to the next phase, which is meeting with faculty and staff within the high school and making these relationships come alive. with real and meaningful action on campus for the betterment of culture and climate at our high school. And we would also be remiss in not gently reminding our folks, in the back of the room, we have our Panther Pantry run by Ms. Niesner. And so this is a special program run by another phenomenal staff member that supports local families in Collingswood, Oakland, and Woodland. And so you can donate food items, hygiene products, non-perishable items, and cash is also king in the back. And so that concludes my report for this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. McDowell. So now we'll move on to public comments. So this is the first public comment section. So the purpose of for this public comment section is to discuss items listed on the agenda. There will be a second public comment section at the end of the agenda for additional more general comments. The public is reminded that attempts to resolve all concerns and complaints should first go through appropriate staff members and administrators. The intent of public comment is to give the community opportunity to provide feedback to the board. We will be actively listening and taking notes so that we can take all that is being said in consideration. We will also take note of any questions and, if appropriate, do our best to address them at the end of public comments. Members of the public are welcome to speak and expect to do so with utmost sensitivity for everyone in attendance. In fairness to all who wish to speak, there is a strict 3-minute time limit per person during public comment, and Ms. Coleman will assist by keeping time. Please remember to state your name and address for the record. Public comments is open.
Hello, Liz Wilson, 109 East Franklin. I was really encouraged to hear about the Student Voice project that's happening. I'm wondering how that is going to be possible if teachers can't meet with them after school hours. And also looking at all the activities in June, I just wanted to point out that there are quite a few that our teachers can't participate in, including the CHS Athletic Award Celebration, the incoming 6th grade parent event, the Garfield 5th grade dinner, Sharp Blacktop Bash, the 8th grade pool party, and CMS 8th grade closing exercises. So I just want to, again, implore the board, let's settle this contract and get these teachers what they deserve. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Mr. Goldberg, music teacher at Tatum and Garfield Elementary Schools. I'm here today speaking on behalf of the district music teachers, Ms. Carlson, Teacher of the Year, Mr. Gross, Mr. Hartung, Ms. Intricasso, Ms. Ludwig, and myself. It is the mission of Collingswood Public School District's music department to provide every Collingswood student the opportunity to grow through a high-quality, ability-appropriate, universally accessible music education that inspires the continuing study of music. In the final month of school, we, the music department, proudly present our final performances for the 2024-25 concert series. In the elementary world, Elementary Spring Concert Circuit continues with the last 2 buildings, Newby and Tatum Elementary Schools, presenting their respective art and music showcases. Families of 5th graders are exceptionally fortunate to get an extra musical performance made just for them in each of the 5 buildings' unique 5th grade promotion ceremonies. Mid-June, the elementary after-school ensembles, District Band, District Orchestra, and Senatonics District Choir will be hitting the road to compete in Clementon Park's Music Splash Festival. Students will have the opportunity to be judged by expert adjudicators, then spend the rest of the day celebrating their year-long accomplishments by exploring the park and having fun in the sun. This is in addition to their spring concert happening tomorrow night. In the secondary building, we have next Wednesday's high school choral pops concert, then a marathon of spring concerts lined up each day of our final weeks of school. All in a row, we have the Collingswood Middle School Choral Pops concert, the Middle School and High School Band concert, the Middle School and High School Orchestra concert, the final Fine and Performing Arts Awards, and then we, the Collingswood music teachers, start working on the Music Department Concert Series 2025-26. For more information on any of these events, please reach out to your school music teacher. As this will be the last music department update for the school year, my colleagues and I want to give some special thank yous to all those who went above and beyond in supporting our students on their educational journeys. Thank you to the two administrative music supervisors, Mr. Steve Smith and Mr. Dave Oliveri. Thank you to the 7 building principals and numerous other school administrators. Thank you to our fellow staff members who put in extra time and effort to protect and advocate for the arts as leaders of the Collingswood Educators Association. Thank you to the Music Booster parents and Arts Forward building PTAs. Finally, we want to thank all of you, parents, families, and community members who have been tuning in to listen to our music department updates and supporting the arts and education throughout the year. Thank you all.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Tanner. I've been an English teacher over at the high school since 1998. I want to reiterate all the wonderful things said about the Teachers of the Year this year. They're amazing people, but I also want to lament the loss. Last Wednesday, Mr. Carnes, our sole physics teacher for most of the last 22 years, put in his resignation. He is not going mountain climbing. He is not going skydiving. He's not going back to college. He's not caring for family members. We can't even use the excuse that, oh, well, he lives in Philly, that's why he left, like we did for Miss Z. Or, oh, he's just going to go teach at the high school that his kids attend, like we did for Miss Wiltsey. No, Mr. Carnes is going 4.3 miles down the road to teach for his last 5 years. Make no mistake, he is not going someplace. He is leaving. He is leaving Collingswood. And all of the marvelous people that you awarded tonight and that you applauded, they had one thing in common. They've been here for a while. To be truly fantastic, it takes time for you to figure out where you are in your space and how to function in that space. And as all of our long-term teachers are leaving, we need to stop saying, well, this is a national problem, or they're just going for some other reason. We need to look at what this board is asking of the high school and how it is being implemented by the administration. Because pretty soon, there's not going to be anybody left who remembers how it's supposed to be run. Thank you very much.
Jeff Herman, special education teacher at the high school. Last month, I spoke twice during public comment to bring up issues that I felt were a little bit alarming in terms of financials that were spent last year and then financials that were going to be spent this year. I was told that I would receive a response, and then I was surprised to read in the retrospect that Dr. McDowell responded to one of my comments by saying that I should have taken my comment up with my direct supervisor and or building principal. But Dr. McDowell, you cut my direct supervisor last year. I met with you and Mrs. Turner in January, and I raised the concerns about not having a direct special education-based supervisor at the high school, one of your most important populations in the building. And I felt that was a pretty strong need at the high school. I have yet to see any kind of resolution there. But that was not the reason that I brought up the financials. The reason I brought up the financials is because I feel that as a board, you guys should be looking at how we're spending, this money moving forward, because there's still an unsettled teacher contract that is out there. We have probably very little separating us, in terms of this contract, and yet, I have taken a look and seen the way that this board is kind of allocating its money. I did see in tonight's agenda, which is why I'm speaking, that issue that I spoke about has kind of been fixed. It's been put in this agenda, so I appreciate that. But I just want to reiterate, what many people have been saying. It's time to settle this contract before the year is up. We've been putting in our time this year. We've been showing up. We've been doing what we can. But we have a lot of good people here in this district, and we don't want to keep losing anymore. So it's time to settle the contract and do it now. Thank you.
Robin Hogan, a CEA president. I want to acknowledge a lot of community support that we have felt throughout this whole process in terms of negotiating our contract. We have from the outset said that our salary guide is in the lowest third, and our job, what we hope to accomplish, is to start on the path to raise that up. We know it's not going to happen in one contract, but we want to get on that path. Well, I just wanted to point out that this is true not just for the teacher salary guide, but also for our administrative assistants. Okay? Our administrative assistants are significantly below neighboring districts for their salaries. They are the very heart and soul of our schools. They are the face of our schools. They are the first face or voice that our parents hear when they reach out and contact the schools. They are a fount of information. I don't know what I would do if we didn't have Karen Kawasa answering questions, keeping us all on the right path. That's true for all of the building and all of our administrative assistants in the district. They keep us moving forward. They also, though, do things that, besides, things you normally expect, they do some unexpected things. They sometimes serve as a nurse when the nurse is busy, putting on a Band-Aid. They serve as a kind and gentle voice to the children, reassuring them. They are invaluable. And it is for them also that we are trying to improve their salary guides, get them on a path to raise them up. Once again, we know it can't be done in one contract, but we want to get on the path where we're starting to raise up the salaries. Behind me are a couple of representatives of our wonderful administrative assistants who can speak to this much more eloquently than I can. But I am hoping that as going forward and we continue to work on resolving our contract issues, that we can raise up the staff members at Collingswood as they deserve. Thank you.
Cecilia Tagling, 46 East Dane Avenue. I have been a Collingswood resident for 28 years. I am employed at Tatum Elementary School as an administrative assistant, and I am finishing my 19th year. I also worked as a substitute in the district for approximately 4 years prior to my employment. I have had 2 daughters who attended the Collingswood schools from kindergarten through 12th grade, and currently have a granddaughter in Collingswood School District. In all the years I have worked here, I have never heard staff feel so unsupported, disappointed, deflated, drained, and depressed. The morale has hit an all-time low these past few years. I am currently on the negotiations team, and my hope was to settle a contract which is competitive in salaries, to be able to attract and attain top-notch employees, and finally, a contract which is fair and settled in a timely manner. Some examples. My salary in 2022-23 was $43,000. For the 23-24 school year, I received a raise of $400, or 0.9%, or $1.09 per day without taxes taken out. As you can imagine, I was disappointed and certainly didn't feel the salary was commensurate with the work I perform each and every day. I have learned through the negotiations process and my research, neighboring school districts, similar in size to Collingswood, the secretary guides are paid much more than Collingswood. For example, as I mentioned, my current salary is $43,400. In Oak Glen, a secretary on the same step is making $51,847, a difference of $8,447. In Audubon, again the same step as myself, is making $54,500, a difference of $11,100. Teachers and aides are also making less than the surrounding districts, and this needs to be resolved. How are we going to keep staff in our district when they can go elsewhere with higher salaries? Without a fair and equitable contract, more and more teachers, staff, and community members will be leaving the town of Collingswood. Therefore, it won't be the place where you want to live and learn, because unfortunately, the school district does not want to support an integral part of our community. Thank you.
Kathy Malger. I live at 84 Kendall Boulevard in Oak Lynn. I am not as eloquent as Ms. Hogan or Ms. Tagling. I've been an administrative assistant at Garfield School for 11 years. I am currently on Step D with a salary of $37,400 a year. When the contract was last settled, I was moved back 3 steps and was made to stay at that step for 3 years. An administrative assistant in Audubon with 11 years experience, salary is $47,083. That is $9,683 less than my current salary. An administrative assistant in Oak Lynn with 11 years experience, salary is $48,494, which is $11,094 more than my current salary. The administrative assistants in Collingswood deserve a fair and equitable contract. Dr. McDowell, when you started working in Collingswood, we had a very promising conversation where you stated that you were going to change the administrative assistants' job titles and pay us the salary we deserve. Now is your chance to make good on that promise. Without a strong contract, more teachers, staff, and community members will leave the town of Collingswood, and we will not be the place where you want to live and learn or work anymore. Thank you.
Hi, good evening. My name is Tom Howard. I live at 16 Fraser Avenue, and I am coming here as a parent of a student at Tatum, and I want to congratulate all the staff and teachers who were honored tonight. And again, as a parent in the community, I can totally attest to the professionalism and dedication and hard work of the staff. And as awesome it is to award those well-deserving members tonight, it would also be great to award all of the staff and all of the hardworking members of Collingswood Schools with a fair contract ASAP. I think that would be an award everybody would cheer and celebrate. I also am encouraged by the Student Voice initiative. As a teacher of 25 years, I know it's really important for kids as well as staff to have some input in what's going on. But also, as much as student voice is important, also listen to the teacher voice. And the teacher voice overwhelmingly is saying, please, please settle the contract. Please, please let them do their work and have respect so they can continue to make this district and help all kids do the great things they've been doing. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Angela Keck. I teach 4th grade at Tatum Elementary School. Last meeting, after the budget presentation, I really appreciated the follow-up questions some of the board members asked, particularly Mrs. Zamieski. I was excited to see updates were being made to the elementary MTSS to strengthen the support for some of our neediest learners. I can attest to the fact that classroom teachers and students have felt the loss of the robust academic support services that used to be available. We heard about the updates that were made last summer to prepare for the 24-25 school year after the department was gutted, but what updates and improvements are being made for the 25-26 MTSS services? Kids were cut from those supports based on teacher availability and need. I long to return to the day where we can help all of the students who need it and not worry if we have a body to fulfill that intervention, as well as provide some relief to the classroom teachers who were tasked with more than ever this year with less support. Classroom teachers were given new minutes for some subjects, but not new curriculum. We were left to figure out how to teach lessons written for longer blocks, balancing the overflow from the mini lessons and literacy centers while also doing the DIBELS targeted instruction and necessary and vital Tier 2 interventions was an ever-evolving task that we did with grace and flexibility, but not without struggle and frustration. So I ask what updates and improvement are being made with the replenished budget to support the MTSS services for the 25-26 school year.
Good evening. My name is Jennifer Mauger, and I am an employee along with a parent. I am a 12-month administrative assistant for the middle school. I'm not a 10-month employee. I make $38,000 a year. I have an associate's degree. I do extras by doing different PDs that I search for. But I get $38,100 a year. I also have 3 children that go to Oak Lynn who are in special education. I'm going to echo what the women said in front of me that are also administrative assistants. This isn't sustainable. We need to increase. We deserve a fair and equitable contract for teachers, staff, administrative assistants, IAs. There's a bunch of us on this umbrella. I just want to echo that administrative assistants, CST, we all deserve an equitable contract. This is not a part-time job for me. This is a full-time job that I'm raising my family in. And I live in town. I live in the sister district. I don't want to move, and I don't want to leave. It's just sad. Thank you.
Okay, seeing as there are no more public comments, I'll close the public comment section. And do we have an update about the MTSS that we're prepared to give now? If not, we can look for it in the future.
So in the next board meeting, and so we'll be certifying the actual budget with the state this week. And so as we did last year, we will be presenting publicly a looking ahead presentation based on the 25-26 budget. And so that'll be presented in the June meeting.
Thank you. I think as was clear during public comments, I think the big issue right now facing our district is the ongoing negotiations for the teacher's contract. I appreciate the many comments by the CA staff who have come up here to express how important that is. And as we've stated multiple times before, the board is ready and willing and eager to settle. I also appreciate the comments made by the CA president, and I do agree that one of the goals I think that we share as a board and as the CA is that we want to be able to increase the salary guides and the pay for CA staff. And one of the difficulties is that we're going to have to do this over multiple contracts, right? It can't be resolved in one contract. Looking into the history of this, one thing I saw after looking through the history of our contracts is, this is the first CA contract to be negotiated since Dr. Merdal joined the district. So the previous, the one that covered 2023, 2024, 2022, 2023, and 2021, 2022, that one was negotiated prior to Dr. Merdal joining the district. So this is the first contract that's been negotiated with Dr. Merdal here in the district. I looked into history, and what I noticed is looking 10 plus years in the past, I can see the history that Ms. Hogan has talked about, which is that the settlement rates, the percentage raises that the CA members have received have been either at or below county average for the last 10 plus years, right? So for looking at the last 3 contracts, we see that, right? The last 3 contracts, we can see that the settlement rates, the percentage raises, have been at or below county average for looking at it, last 9 years, 3 of the years have been at county average, 6 have been below county average. And so we see where Ms. Hogan and CA are coming from, and that's why this board has offered for these 3 years, raises that are significantly over county average as an attempt to try to make up those differences. This cannot be resolved in one contract. It's going to have to be resolved in multiple contracts, but that is definitely an effort that we're trying to make while also being fiscally responsible to the district. That is, again, why looking at the contract that we have offered, the MOA that is in front that we could settle now with, it offers significantly above county average raises in all 3 years, which is a very marked difference from the previous contracts that have been negotiated here. And so we're eager, hopeful that we can get this settled soon. I know we have a meeting coming up next week, and hopefully we can get this done so that all of the CA staff can receive their back pay and that we can continue on with the school year. With that, we're going to move on to section number 9, which is the student, there's no student reports. So we're going to move on to section number 10, which is the Business Administrative Board Secretary report.
All right. Item 10.01 is a listing of your April monthly budget transfers. Item 10.02 is the Board Secretary and Treasurer financial statements for the month of April. 10.03 is your student activity cash report and financial statement. 10.04 is the NutriServe food service financial statement for the month of April. 10.05 is a listing of all the purchase orders that have been issued during the month of May thus far. And 10.06 is a listing of the warrants to be paid pending approval tonight. And just FYI, I forgot to mention, I don't know if I mentioned this in the Finance Committee, but I have scheduled the school district audit for the last week of July, first week of August. So just so you, Finance Committee knows when the financials will be audited.
Section 11, Buildings, Grounds, and Finance Committee. Mr. Craig, Chairperson, will present.
Thank you. The Finance, Buildings, and Grounds Committee reviews all financial statements, purchase orders, and warrants on a monthly basis. The committee also reviews all and approves all contracts with outside service providers and oversees all maintenance and capital improvement projects district-wide. We're seeking approval of the following items tonight. 11.2 to 11.9 is the Board Secretary's report, as was just presented. 11.10 is the 25-26 tax remittance schedule. 11.11 is a contract with ESS to continue to provide support services for the district. 11.12 is year 2 of 5 of our NutriServe food management contract seeking renewal. 11.13 is an agreement with Better You program for next school year. This is SEL 21st Century Skills for grades 8 through 12. This is $9,500 a year paid through wellness grant funds. 11.14 is approval to submit a grant for Optimal Comprehensive Universal Screeners, which is just over $5,000. 11.15, this is a project that it's been on our radar for a while, but the high school gym entrance, the masonry project, we are approving a contract to go out and work on this. We knew about it a couple years ago. We went and looked at the issue, and as we looked at the issue, found it was much worse than what we thought it was going to be. Applied for a ROD grant that was not approved, and now we are you have to pay out a capital reserve since this has been deemed an emergent project. 11.16 is the purchase of a Huddle online ticket sale platform to be used for high school events, so people can start buying tickets online rather than the paper tickets. 11.17, 18, and 19 are health service contracts for BIATA for home health care for one-on-one nursing, virtual health for PT services, and BCBA for as-needed service contract with Miscellaneous Health, all for next year. 11.20 is shared service maintenance agreement with Summerdale. And then 11.21 to 11.29 are different use of facility requests, mostly for the borough summer programs that use our buildings. So seeking approval of items 11.2 to 11.29.
Do we have a motion?
So moved.
And a second? Questions and comments from board members?
I have a question for the online ticket sales. I just wanted to make sure that our paper tickets still going to be an option.
I believe so. I can check with Ms. Hart. I know I talked about the audit earlier. This is the one area that drives myself, the auditor, and it drives Ms. Hart up a wall, because we actually have to put in the big wheels of tickets. You've ever been to 50/50? We have to account for every single ticket. So when they come in and so it's a mess when we're audited. So this should make, I'm assuming I'll check with her. She should have a backup for paper, but this is going to make buying the tickets and accounting for the cash and accounting for the stupid little tickets a whole lot easier for us going forward. But I'll double check with her. I'm sure there's.
Okay. And then I just want to, I know that you had said we're actually not paying for the program. It's going to be incorporated into the ticket sales. Do we know how much the ticket sales are going to increase based on?
I don't know. I can find out.
Okay.
I have a question about the Better You program. Is this program grant funded, or is this coming out of our budget? And is this replacing something that we already had?
Yeah, it's being funded through the Wellness Center grant.
So I just want to point out that or at least maybe get some background, because I haven't been to many of the sports games. So how does that normally work when the kids come? Do they normally, they're able to bring cash, I guess, to get into the ticket, so now they're going to have their adult pay online or something like that? I'm just concerned how it's going to impact the kids. I get the mess of it, but I'm just concerned about the impact.
I'll have to check with Ms. Hart. She's not here to speak to it, but.
We have it at our school. It's a pretty common thing now across high schools because it helps to keep out, anyone who's like like a troublemaker from another district, but it helps to account for everyone who's there. Like you had to register your name, and so like RV has been using it for the last 2 years.
And I do believe we were heavily encouraged by NJSIAA to use this. This was the program that they recommend.
Just wondering how accessible it is for students and people that, grandparents kind of, not.
You can buy it right on your phone. It's pretty easy to use. We've had it for 2 years.
That's fine. I mean, it makes sense. It's going to be a transition.
I have a question about 1120, the shared maintenance services agreement with Summerdale. As an Oakland representative, I just wonder if that's going to change any of our service agreements for the shared services in Oakland with.
No, this is just as needed, just like we do. We have, if they need us, what it is the BA from Clementon is now the shared BA in Summerdale. So he reached out and he just wanted to have a phone a friend in case of a maintenance situation. So we extended the same contract that we have like with Clementon and Han Township and Audubon. We extended to Summerdale as well, but it won't affect Oakland.
Okay, great.
Yep.
And I'll mention something about that, which is just a thanks to our Building and Services team for helping us there, because that is actually one of the ways in which we can bring additional revenue into the district and help bolster the budget of the district. So again, thanks to the BSA for that. Okay, seeing no more questions or comments, can we have a roll call, please, Ms. Coleman?
Mrs. Brown.
Yes.
Mr. Craig.
Yes.
Mrs. Devine.
Yes.
Mrs. Maya.
Yes.
Mrs. Mikulski.
Yes.
Mrs. Seltzer.
Yes.
Mrs. Sherman.
Yes.
Mrs. Z.
Yes.
Mr. McMillan.
Yes, except for where I'm required to abstain.
Gotcha. Mr. Chu.
Yes. Moving on to Section 12, Curriculum Committee, Ms. Sherman, the chairperson, will present.
The Curriculum Committee oversees and approves the district curriculum and assessment programs, as well as field trips, home instruction, co-curricular programs, and school calendar. Tonight, we're seeking approval for the following items. 12.02, elementary school field trips. This includes mostly 5th grade classes who are visiting local performances. Garfield 5th grade is going to the Academy of Natural Sciences. Sharp's 5th grade is going to Newton Creek Park. 12.03, the middle school. This is the MD 6 to 8 class visiting Inclusion Coffee Shop. 12.04, this is the 18 to 21-year-old program. This group is visiting the Funplex in Mount Laurel. There are 2 home instruction placements, both medical, 12.05 and 12.06. And so tonight seeking approval for 12.02 through 12.06.
Do we have a motion?
So moved.
And a second? Questions or comments from board members?
I don't have a question. I was just going to share a few updates,
Please.
if that's
Yeah.
appropriate. All right. Good evening again, everybody. A few quick notes from the curriculum and instruction world. First, we are in the midst of our state NJSLA testing, which involves pretty much every 3rd through 11th grader in our district, who in the last 3 weeks or in the midst of it this week is taking an English, ELA, math, or science assessment, depending on their grade level. We won't get the results until July, but Mr. Oliveri and I have visited every building that is testing and visited nearly every room that is testing at this point, and I can say that if the thoughtful planning by the adults and the hard work of the kids is any kind of signal, I'm really excited to see our results in July. Let's see. Number 2, we concluded AP testing at Collingswood High School earlier this month. A few quick notes there. We have 125 students who participated in 266 AP tests, so most kids were taking one or more of the tests. I'm going to share out some of the AP exams that our kids participated in. This isn't a full list because the full list is pretty long, but just to kind of give a taste of what our kids are exposed to at Collingswood High School. Some of those are biology, chemistry, both macro and microeconomics, European history, U.S. government, English, psych, physics, environmental science, computer science, African American history, statistics, U.S. history, both Calc AB, MBC, French, Spanish, and art history. And so I'm thrilled at the really interesting array of options that we're able to offer at Collingswood High School. Last but not least, we are working to pilot 2 K through 5 ELA programs coming into the next school year. Mr. Oliveri and I have been working with a working group of staff as we further our implementation of science of reading programs. You hear me talk about this probably at every board meeting. So we're chipping away at the next piece and the next piece. And so teachers will receive training this spring to then pilot 2 free programs. Our working group started with probably 8 or 10 different programs that we were looking at and narrowed it down to our 2 finalists. And so we'll actually be doing that live in front of kids in the fall in classrooms across our elementary schools so that we can further see what these programs look like in action with our kids every day to then finalize one final selection that we will move forward with in the 26-27 cycle. So thanks to Mr. Oliveri and the working group for all of the efforts there. We're excited to be in this phase of the process. Those are my updates tonight.
Awesome, thank you. Any questions or comments from board members? Okay, well then, roll call, please.
Mrs. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Craig?
Yes.
Mrs. Devine?
Yes.
Mrs. Maya?
Yes.
Mrs. Mikulski?
Yes.
Mrs. Seltzer?
Yes.
Mrs. Sherman?
Yes.
Mrs. Z?
Yes.
Mr. McMillan?
Yes, except for we're required to abstain.
Mr. Chu?
Yes. Moving on to section 13, Personnel Committee. Dr. Seltzer, chairperson, will present.
The Personnel Committee reviews all recommendations for teaching and staff employment, considers co-curricular employment, and considers all professional development opportunities for staff members. 13.02 to 13.06 are resignations. 13.07 is a termination. 13.08 is approving an unpaid FMLA leave of absence. 13.09 is a transfer of Kim Hallenbach from lead counselor to director of counseling services. 13.10 to 13.11 are contracts for elementary school teachers. 13.12 are contracts for preschool to grade 5 tenured teaching staff. 13.13 are contracts for preschool to grade 5 instructional assistants part-time. 13.14 are contracts for grade 6 to grade 8 instructional assistants part-time. 13.15 are for district and high school part-time instructional assistants. 13.16 are for high school and district full-time instructional assistants. 13.17 are contracts for building service employees. 13.18 are contracts for unaligned staff, and you can see them there. 13.19 are CST Child Study Team stipends for the 25-26 school year. 13.20 are 25-26 elementary permanent subs. 13.21 are 25-26 middle school permanent subs. And 13.22 are high school permanent subs for next year. 13.23 are approving elementary lunch supervisors. 24 is elementary lunch aides. 13.25 are approving summer hours for high school counseling, and 13.26 is for middle school counseling. 13.27 is a student teaching and field experience placement, and 13.08 is a school psychology student practicum. 13.29 are EDP stipends for high school athletic head coaches. 13.30 are approving 25 summer buildings and grounds workers. 13.31 is approving staff for AED, automatic external defibrillator training. 13.32 is the travel expense form, only two professional development opportunities this month. And so I am seeking approval for items 13.02 to 13.32.
Is there a motion? And a second?
Second.
Questions or comments from board members?
I just wanted to make a comment, considering, and it was pointed out earlier by some of the staff about some additional resignations. I just think that, we've done a lot to applaud our staff and also our students tonight. And, they deserve it, and our kids really do deserve it, and our kids also deserve their full end-of-the-year experience, including graduations, end-of-year celebrations, in some cases, end of entire careers here in Collingswood celebrations. And those celebrations will be significantly different without staff present. So I urge everyone to please come back to the table next week, as you had said, and let's get this done, please.
I'm going to go off of what Megan said, but I just want to take a minute to, first of all, thank all the admin tonight for the celebration for the teachers. I thought it was amazing. Really nicely attended as well. And I just want to give a shout out to all of the nominees and honorees of this year's awards. You guys obviously all go above and beyond, and we really appreciate that. And I'm very sad to see a lot of resignations this month, but I'm encouraged by some people also coming back to work for us, which is reassuring as well. But huge credit to you guys. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for going above and beyond. This is a personal section and the time to say that, so we really appreciate it.
Okay, so more.
Also, a quick thank you to NutriServe for all the food they provided tonight.
All right, seeing no more questions or comments from board members, roll call, please.
Mrs. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Craig?
Yes.
Mrs. Devine?
Yes.
Mrs. Maya?
Yes.
Mrs. Mikulski?
Yes.
Mrs. Seltzer?
Yes.
Mrs. Sherman?
Yes.
Mrs. Z?
Yes.
Mr. McMillan?
Yes, except for where I have to abstain.
Mr. Chu?
Yes. For section 14, there are no policies up for first or second read this month, so we're going to bypass section 14. Thank you, Ms. Maya. So we're moving on to section 15, miscellaneous. There are, I believe, two items here. Yes. So 15.01 is the approval of the HIB reports from the previous month. And then 15.02 is job descriptions. So it is to move on the recommendation of the superintendent to abolish the lead counselor position and adopt the new director of school counseling position. So this is related to agenda item 13.09, which is the transfer of Ms. Hollenbach from lead counselor to director of school counseling. And so I'm seeking approval for items 15.02 to 15.01 to 15.02. Can I get a motion, please?
So moved.
And a second? Questions or comments from board members?
Should we have done those first? The job description, should we have done that first before we approve somebody for the job? Just curious.
So we already had an approved director of counseling. The only new language was adding the wellness center. So it's the same job description, just adding the wellness center, which didn't exist during the original approval.
I'm not sure if this is okay or not, but I just want to clarify that this is not, just so the public is aware that this is not an increase in money that we have to be concerned about in case anybody is worried about the money that we're spending.
It's budget neutral.
Yep. Okay, seeing no more questions or comments from board members, roll call, please.
Mrs. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Craig?
Yes.
Mrs. Devine?
Yes.
Mrs. Maya?
Yes.
Mrs. Mikulski?
Yes.
Mrs. Seltzer?
Yes.
Mrs. Sherman?
Yes.
Mrs. Z?
Yes.
Mr. McMillan?
Yes.
Mr. Chu?
Yes. Moving on to section 16, our second section for public participation. So this section is for additional, more general comments, doesn't have to be on the agenda. So the public is reminded that attempts to resolve all concerns and complaints should first go through appropriate staff members and administrators. 10 of public comment is to give the community opportunity to provide feedback to the board. We will be actively listening and taking notes so that we can take all that is being said into consideration. We will also take note of any questions and, if appropriate, do our best to address them at the end of public comments. Members of the public are welcome to speak and expected to do so with the utmost sensitivity for everyone in attendance. In fairness to all who wish to speak, there is a strict 3-minute time limit per person during public comment, and Ms. Coleman will assist by keeping time. Please remember to state your name and address for record. The floor is open.
Hi, Kara Boiler, 90 Summerfield Avenue in Collingswood. This is less of a comment and more of a PSA. So this morning at 6:15 in the morning on 93.3 WMMR, Preston and Steve show announced that Collingswood High School was selected for Teacher of the Year. So they are encouraging high school students to text into 69333 their favorite teacher, and that teacher will be awarded something very special. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Bob Rupp, East Stiles Avenue. I'm concerned about the activities and other events that students have been missing throughout the school year and potentially will continue to miss. I've heard a lot of the same things over the last 6 months about the ongoing contract situation. Can you talk a little bit about what the next steps are and what will be different to ensure that we will be able to get this resolved? Thank you.
Hi, Robin Hogan, CEA President and teacher at Sharp Elementary School. I just wanted to respond. We appreciate the fact of all the work that's gone in to get to where we are with our contract negotiations, including the borough providing extra funds so that we can be at above county average. And it made me smile. This is one of the times that Mr. Chu and I agree on some things. We have been saying from the start that this is going to take several contracts to fix. We already have our eye on the next contract negotiations. And I hope that as you are deliberating and budgeting, that you also have your eyes on the next contract negotiations. Because even as we speak, contracts are being settled. The county average is on the rise. School districts are realizing there is a change in the market when it comes to teachers. We all are competing now. Whether we like it or not, we're competing with Cherry Hill for teachers. Whether we like it or not, we're competing with Lindenwold. Lindenwold just settled 3 years, 15.2%. And I know that there are districts who are settling for less, so I understand it averages out. But the county average is on the rise, and the situation has changed. I just want to encourage you, as you are making budgetary decisions over the next few years, that you are prioritizing growing the guides for not just the teachers, the administrative assistants, the aides, so that we can retain and we can attract and we can give the community the stability they want in their staff. Thank you.
All right, seeing as there are no more public comments, I'll close public comments, and I think there was a question about, from a community member about what will be different in the upcoming process of negotiating the teacher's contract. And so first thing I'll state is that I do believe that the board and the CA are close, and hopefully that we will reach something, come to agreement soon. You know, but the next steps are we have a session to negotiate on books for May 28th. And then if there needs to be additional sessions, then we can. We also have on the books for June 12th, another mediation session with the state-appointed fact finder if we need their assistance there as well. And our hope is to be able to close the last few remaining items together with the CEA. You know, I think I'll echo Ms. Hogan here. I appreciate that we are on the same page here tonight, and appreciate, of course, her advocacy for the CEA and for the board to be thinking about the budgetary challenges that will be necessary to continue growing the salaries of CEA members, which is definitely, from my understanding, something that all board members here and the administration want to do. That is, I think, one of the biggest things we have to keep on thinking about as a board, which is how do we continue to bring in additional revenue to this district in order to continue to pay our staff the raises that they deserve. And one of the big challenges, I think, what we're seeing across the state, across school districts, especially this year, is the understanding that the status quo doesn't work. The 2% tax cap that our districts are held under make it extremely difficult for us to be able to pay the raises that our teachers, our administrative assistants, our instructional assistants deserve, because we cannot bring in enough revenue in order to meet those raises. And so that's something that we have to keep on exploring as a board, ways in which we can continue to increase revenue to pay our staff what they deserve. And one of the things that I think I really appreciate about the current administration is that we have one of the lowest administrative costs in school districts similar to ours and across the state. I mean, our administrative cost is less than 9% of our budget this upcoming year. And so one of those things that I know that we've been trying to do is keep the administrative costs low so that we can do our best to maximize the amount of money that can go to our staff. And so, looking ahead, we're hopeful that we are close on an agreement. And of course, we as a board have the responsibility to continue to explore ways in which to bring in additional revenue so that the 2% tax levy cap does not mean that we would have to lay off staff in order to provide additional raises for our staff in the future. And I know everyone's on agreement there. And so, thank you again for all the teachers and for the Ms. Hogan and the CA for speaking tonight. And it was a wonderful night to hear all of the amazing work by the staff members and teachers who were celebrated tonight, and also by the students. And with that, I'd like to move to section 17, which is adjournment. Is there a motion to adjourn this meeting? And a second?
Second.
All those in favor?